My sister's boyfriend is gay. Last week, he and another man stayed at my homestay and turned it into a horrific mess. The scene was absolutely disgusting. Fearing my sister would be shocked, I delicately told her, Liam might be a marriage fraud, you should reconsider. Unexpectedly, she turned around and betrayed me. My sister says your sexual orientation isn't normal and told me not to marry you. Honey, you're not like that, are you? Liam, embarrassed, turned furious and immediately broke up with her. But after learning Liam was a rich young master, she harbored resentment towards me. She jumped up, furiously choked me, so angry her eyes almost burst. You're just jealous of me, jealous that I found a good husband. A malicious woman like you deserves to go to hell. In desperate suffocation, she strangled me to death. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day my sister brought her boyfriend home. Sister, what do you think of Liam? A smooth hand pulled me back. I suddenly snapped back to reality, realizing it was my sister, Lily, blinking with an expectant look on her face. I had been reborn to the day Liam first came to our house. Lily pulled me into her room to ask for my opinion. Looking at Lily's face, my heart went cold. Memories from my previous life flooded back like a storm. I ran a homestay next to a tourist area. Last week I had business elsewhere, so I wasn't there. Mrs. Wang, the homestay manager, urgently reported to me, the two young men who stayed yesterday seemed clean and tidy, but I never expected them to do something like that. You don't know what the scene was like. We deducted their deposit and they even argued with us. It was disgraceful. Only when we threatened to call the police did they finally pay. And then they turned around and gave our homestay a 1-star review. Can you believe it? If it had just been two men sharing a room, no one would have cared. After all these days, to save money while still enjoying the scenery, renting a double room is perfectly normal. But they were absolutely horrific. In the video Mrs. Wang sent, used condoms were scattered all over the floor, some even splattered on the walls, bed sheets, and carpets, all covered in yellow stains. There were even curly hairs clinging to the shower head. The entire room reeked of an indescribable stench. When the cleaning lady was about to clean, she turned pale and almost fainted. I had to pay a large sum of money to hire professional cleaners and replace all the shower heads with fixed ones. After a busy week, I received a call from Mother. She said my sister was bringing her boyfriend home and asked me to come back and meet him. As soon as I pushed the door open, I saw Liam's face, identical to the one in the surveillance camera. I was afraid Lily was being deceived and would be shocked, so I delicately told her, Liam might be gay. You should observe him more carefully as you date him. But she turned around and betrayed me, pouting to Liam, my sister says your sexual orientation isn't normal and told me not to marry you. Honey, you're definitely not like that, are you? Liam, hit where it hurt, immediately became furious, slammed the door, and left. Lily panicked, scolded me fiercely, and then tried to chase after him. I didn't realize she was just angry with Liam, and I feared she would get deeper into trouble. I gritted my teeth, held her back, pointed to the video, and said, Look, this is Liam. He and another man stayed at my homestay and even embraced at the reception desk. Then they made the room so dirty it was unbearable. Lily finally believed me. 6 months later, Lily scrolled through her phone and saw a video of Liam's wedding. Not only was the ceremony lavish, but he also gave the bride's family 880,000 yuan as a bride price. Blinded by rage, she lunged at me and choked me tightly. Luna, why did you lie to me? Liam clearly likes girls. You deliberately used AI to alter his face to trick me and ruin my chance to become a rich wife. You're just jealous that I'm younger and prettier than you. You won't die a good death. Her bloodshot eyes bulged, her face extremely vicious. I was almost suffocated, struggling desperately with a strong instinct to survive. I was just about to break free when my mother, standing nearby, grabbed my arm tightly. You've ruined Lily's entire life. You deserve to go to hell. My thoughts snapped back to the present. I took a deep breath, fresh air rushing into my lungs. At this moment, I truly realized that I had been reborn. Looking into Lily's eyes again, I quietly pulled my hand away and smiled. Sister, this, of course, has to be based on your feelings. Other people's opinions don't matter. Lily was still unconvinced, pulling my sleeve again and asking, but we've been together for so long and we've only held hands. He's never made any more intimate moves. Sister, do you think he likes men? It turned out Lily had suspected it all along. How ridiculous. In my previous life, when I mentioned it, she stabbed me in the back by telling Liam. Later, when she found out Liam was a marriage fraud, she would surely blame me for it too. I suppressed the surging hatred, put my arm around her shoulder, pretending to be affectionate. Sister, does he usually treat you well? I've never been in a relationship, so I can't give you advice, but you surely have your own judgment. Lily pouted a little smugly. Yes, he treats me very well. He always pays when we eat out. Liam is definitely a pure love warrior. He doesn't want to touch me now. He wants to save the happiest moments for after the wedding. Sister, seriously, why haven't you found anyone yet? If you keep delaying, you'll become an old maid, what then? The mockery in her eyes almost spilled out, but she still smiled innocently. But once I marry Liam, I might consider helping you find one of his relatives. So, just wait for my good news. My lips curved, but no emotion showed in my eyes. You marry him successfully, that's what I'm praying for. Lily laughed and went back to the living room to talk to Liam. I also pretended as if nothing had happened, joining them at the dining table. My mother enthusiastically chatted with Liam, her words subtly probing his family background. After learning that Liam was a wealthy young master with several properties, she smiled so widely her wrinkles bloomed like a flower. Oh, this child. Auntie liked him from the first glance. When should our two families meet? Let's settle this marriage soon. Lily shyly leaned into Liam's arms. A flicker of distaste crossed Liam's eyes, but he maintained a polite smile. Auntie, don't worry, I promise to treat Lily well in the future and never let her suffer any disadvantage. Lily playfully nudged him twice. The whole family was harmonious and happy, making me feel superfluous, or perhaps not entirely superfluous. My mother noticed Liam's bowl was empty and began to order me around. Luna, Liam's bowl is empty, and you didn't even bother to serve him more rice. She then turned to complain to Liam. Our Lily is much more considerate. Look, she cooked all these dishes herself. It was her usual way of putting me down to elevate Lily, but I was the one who cooked this meal. Lily couldn't even peel a single clove of garlic. It had been like this since childhood. Lily didn't have to do anything to receive Mother's favoritism. No matter how hard I tried in Mother's mouth, it was always, what should be done? To avoid further trouble, I didn't argue. I obediently stood up. Mother glanced at me with a hint of distaste and added, all day you just busy yourself with that homestay of yours. When will you be ambitious enough to bring home a good boyfriend like Liam? Homestay. Liam keenly caught this information, suddenly speaking up, his eyes full of caution. Oh, just a small homestay by Yan Lake. If you're interested, tell Luna to reserve the best room for you and Lily to spend a couple of days. Liam frowned more tightly but still managed to sound calm as he continued. Sounds nice. What's it called? Yan Bu Wan? The chopsticks in Liam's hand paused, his eyes looking at me meaningfully. Just go if you want. I've been a bit busy lately. Mrs. Wang manages everything at the homestay. You two just set a date and I'll inform her. I calmly placed the refilled rice bowl in front of him. Liam seemed to remember that he had indeed never seen me there, his expression visibly relaxed. Then let's go this weekend, Lily said, looking at Liam expectantly. Let's do it later, Liam refused. I've been quite busy lately, so I don't have time. He would, of course, refuse. After all, that incident happened just a week ago. If someone at the homestay recognized him, his losses would be even greater. After Liam left, Mother praised him to the heavens. Lily was so smug her mouth was almost splitting from ear to ear, insisting I give my opinion. I carefully considered my words, echoing Mother's, and said, he's very good, generous, and from a wealthy family. Lily's smile grew even wider, but after a moment, she suddenly looked at me suspiciously, scrutinizing me from head to toe. Sister, you're praising Liam like that. Aren't you having designs on him? Let me tell you, don't be a toad trying to eat swan meat. Liam can only be mine alone. Me wanting him? Wanting a person who, with his accomplice, defiled my property. She's the toad, ugly and greedy. How can you say that? Liam and you are a perfect match, a talented man and a beautiful woman, a match made in heaven. My mother and sister didn't know that I actually had a boyfriend for a long time. Sean, a photographer, whom I met when he came to shoot promotional photos for the homestay. After he pursued me for half a year, we became a couple. And yesterday, I officially accepted his marriage proposal. In my previous life, I didn't want to steal the spotlight on the day Liam first came home, so I didn't say anything. Later, when Lily was heartbroken and depressed, I refrained even more. After I died, only Sean searched everywhere for my whereabouts, eventually helping the police uncover the truth and sending my mother and sister to prison. After leaving Mother's house, I called Sean directly. On the other end, his voice was very cheerful. Luna, isn't your family entertaining guests? Are you done so quickly? That's great. I just brought the real estate agent to see some properties. Let's go see them together. We can use them as our newlywed home. For him, it was just a morning apart, but for me, it had been a lifetime. I gently wiped my tears, my voice a little choked. Why are you in such a hurry to look at houses? Aren't you trying to marry me off quickly? Preparing ahead of time is good. What's wrong, Luna? Are you crying? Where are you? I'll come find you right away. Just over 10 minutes later, I saw Sean's anxious figure. He looked me over worriedly from head to toe. Seeing that I was indeed unharmed, he breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that you're okay. It's good that you're okay. I hugged Sean tightly. His familiar scent made me feel strangely at ease. After a long while, he gently brushed my hair, softly saying, Luna, what exactly happened? Can you tell me? I sniffled, recounting my entire experience from my previous life to him. My voice was calm, but my heart was very apprehensive. I comforted myself, if he doesn't believe me, it's okay. After all, anyone would be suspicious of such a story. Sean listened. Just when I almost lost the courage to face him, his eyes suddenly reddened, and his voice was as light as a feather. Luna, you must have been in so much pain in your previous life. I couldn't hold back anymore. I fell into his arms and sobbed. In this life, without my interference, Lily and Liam quickly reached the stage of discussing marriage. Lily wanted to marry early to secure this young master, and Liam, of course, wanted to marry to avoid any unforeseen complications. But they disagreed on hiring a photographer for their wedding. The good photographers were booked, and the not-so-good ones didn't appeal to them. I interjected at the right moment. I have a friend named Sean who is also a photographer. His work is beautiful. How about I try to contact him? When Lily heard Sean's name, her eyes lit up. Sister, do you really know him? That's wonderful. My friends used to have to book him half a year in advance to get an appointment. Liam, initially uninterested, casually took my phone to look at Sean's information. When he saw the profile picture, his eyes also lit up. He retracted his refusal, pinching Lily's cheek. All right, of course, the bride comes first at the wedding. Everything will be according to your wishes. It must be said that Sean was quite handsome, with attractive features, a tall physique, and often photographed outdoors, giving him a healthy, wheat-colored complexion. Compared to the man who rented the room with Liam, he was a premium version of the same type of person. A few days later, I was discussing the transfer of the homestay with Mrs. Wang. Lily suddenly called, Sister, quickly make some porridge and bring it here for me. Liam has been hospitalized and I need to show some care. Now is when he's weakest and needs me most. I secretly wondered, isn't today the day they're supposed to go wedding dress shopping? Why is he hospitalized? Don't even mention it. He ate something bad yesterday and went straight to the emergency room. He didn't tell me because he was afraid I'd worry. I waited and waited for him, and then he finally told me. Sister, stop messing around, hurry up. Lily hung up after saying that. Mrs. Wang, who was usually blunt, couldn't help but curl her lips after hearing Lily's words. Your sister is truly something else. She's usually arrogant and criticizes you in every way, but when there's trouble, she pushes you forward. Honestly, whether it's appearance or ability, how are you not better than her? You should stay away from her early. In my previous life, I was wholeheartedly good to my sister. Even when she constantly suppressed me, I always thought it was because she was young and didn't understand, and coupled with mother's favoritism, I didn't want to argue with her. But now that I had died once, I had woken up. I smiled, opened a food delivery app, and ordered a bowl of nutritious porridge. Mrs. Wang, you're right, it's okay not to have a sister like that. Half an hour later, the porridge was delivered. I quickly poured it into a lunchbox, took a bus, and leisurely went to the hospital. Something was fishy, and I absolutely had to see for myself. Lily was waiting at the door of the patient's room, waiting impatiently. Seeing me, she snatched the lunchbox. Luna, what on earth are you dawdling for? I asked you to cook a bowl of porridge, and you're so slow. You have to simmer it until it's soft, otherwise he'll have indigestion. Lily couldn't say anything more, she just glared at me fiercely and ran inside. Facing Liam, she immediately put on a sweet smile. Liam, have some food. I specially cooked this for you. The porridge is very soft and it's easy for you to digest. Oh, how thoughtful, learning by doing. A man who looked like an attendant nearby took the bowl of porridge and carefully spoon-fed Liam. Lily happily whispered into my ear, See, Liam still cares about me the most. He even hired a male attendant, precisely because he's afraid I'll get jealous. I stared at the man. The more I looked, the more familiar he seemed. Isn't this the guy who rented the room with Liam? These two are so brazen. I went out of the patient's room and secretly pulled a nurse aside. Nurse, may I ask if that man is an attendant at your hospital? I'd also like to hire a male attendant to conveniently take care of my father. No, that man is the one who came to the emergency room with the patient yesterday. The nurse looked inside with a difficult expression and quickly left. An old lady nearby, who looked very gossipy, quickly pulled me aside and whispered, "Oh, didn't you know? He and the boy in the bed are a couple." Yesterday, the boy in the bed, he had an eggplant inserted into his anus, but it went in too deep and couldn't be taken out. That's why the two of them rushed here. Young people these days really know how to play. I gasped, so it can no longer be hidden. When she told Lily that she was at the hospital, Lily even thought Liam was being considerate. "Sister, it's better if the three of you just live your lives well together than anything else." I picked up the empty lunchbox, preparing to leave, when I received a text message from the hospital. The DNA test results were ready. After being reborn, I had always doubted if I was Mother's biological child. Otherwise, I truly couldn't imagine why she would be so biased, even going as far as to help my sister escape punishment and, together with her, dump my body on a deserted mountain in our hometown that night. I took a deep breath, mentally preparing myself, and finally opened the test results. The probability of a blood relationship was calculated at 99.99%. What? I'm her biological child. While still in shock, I saw the male attendant rushing out of the hospital. Without thinking much, I put the paper away and followed him. He turned left and right, went to a park near the hospital, and sat down in a secluded spot. I waited for a while, seeing no movement. I scratched my head a little self-mockingly. Why am I following him? He probably just found Lily, his rival in love, to be an eyesore and wanted to go outside for some fresh air. Just as I was about to turn back, a familiar figure walked straight towards the attendant. I stood stunned. My heart pounded. That figure was none other than my mother. Could it be that Mother found out Liam was gay and came here to question him? Then wouldn't my plan be in vain? As it turned out, what they said as soon as they opened their mouths left me utterly dumbfounded. "Mother, why did you call me here?" "Kevin, I've set you up on dates with several girls. See if any of them are suitable. You're not getting any younger. Staying single like this isn't the way. You need to continue the Liang family lineage." Kevin frowned. "Mother, how many times have I told you? Don't worry about my business." "But your sister is getting married soon. You're still nowhere close." "Mother can't sleep at night just thinking about it. Once we get your sister's bride price, I'll leave most of it for you and then find an opportunity for you two siblings to reconnect soon." Kevin showed impatience. He left Mother and walked away quickly. "When you exchanged me with another family, why didn't you think about me continuing the Liang family lineage? Now, me calling you Mother is giving you a lot of respect. If you can't sleep at night, go find a night job. Stop meddling in my affairs in the future." My mother stood frozen. Seeing that Kevin truly didn't turn back, she threw the photos to the ground, gritting her teeth and muttering, "If I had known, I wouldn't have swapped that deceptive girl. Now look, my own son won't even acknowledge me. Luna, you won't die a good death." Hearing Mother's curses, I could accept them. After all, compared to killing me in my previous life, a few curses were just like an itch. But the other information completely confused me. What did Mother mean? Could it be that she had swapped me and Kevin at birth? But the report in my bag clearly showed I was her biological child. Also, Kevin was very likely Lily's brother, but he was dating Lily's fiancé. This was truly too dramatic. In this life, Liam still offered 880,000 yuan as a bride price, coaxing Lily to register their marriage first. My mother smiled so widely she couldn't close her mouth, holding the card dearly. Only I knew that in the previous life, 1 year after having a child, Liam proposed divorce and sued for the bride price back. He had a child and virtually lost no money. Liam's calculations were clearer than anyone else's. On the day of their marriage registration, they were together. The next day, when Lily came home, her head held much higher. She couldn't help but proudly boast, "Sister, I really am luckier." Liam is truly a pure love warrior. Not only does he have money, but he also saved his first time for me. Last night, when we consummated our marriage, he didn't even dare to turn on the lights, and his movements were very clumsy. As soon as it was over, he rushed to shower. He's so cute. Well, an old maid like you wouldn't understand. Sister, it's good enough if someone is willing to marry you. I just found it ridiculous. Liam's affection for her this time was merely to complete the task of getting her pregnant. He clearly showed such disgust, yet Lily could still feel love in it. Indeed, a few days later, her smugness was gone. She was visibly dejected, rushing home, glancing at me quickly, then running into Mother's room to whisper. I turned on the hidden camera in the room. Lily sighed wearily. "Mother, do you think Liam dislikes me because I've been with 5 or 6 people before?" These past few days, no matter how much I tried to tempt him, he showed no reaction like a block of wood. Lily, don't think too much. If you're really worried, Mother will go with you to get vaginal tightening surgery. Lily was silent for a few seconds, then suddenly became furious, grabbing the pillow next to her and throwing it forcefully to the ground. Damn it, why do I have to suffer like this? Luna doesn't have to. Her eyes gradually turned vicious. Mother, why don't you help me find someone to do it to her? That way, she won't have any leverage later. I can't let her be happy alone. I was so angry I was trembling. I had clearly done nothing, yet she inexplicably resented me. Thankfully, I had installed a camera beforehand. Otherwise, it would have been like my previous life, an unwarranted disaster. Very quickly, my mother chose a notoriously promiscuous relative. Her son had just been released from prison, and Mother eagerly went to pick him up. Lily also followed the plan, being unusually flattering, insisting on cooking for me herself. Half an hour later, she brought a bowl of lumpy noodles, sitting opposite me with a smug smile. Sister, this is the first time I've cooked for you. Hurry and taste it. I looked at the undissolved lumps of medicine on the surface. It was too sloppy. Lily, you cooked too much, I can't eat it all. Her face turned ugly with anger. Sister, aren't you giving me face? I worked so hard to make this. Why are you spoiling the mood? But look, the salt hasn't even dissolved completely here. Following my pointing finger, Lily froze. Oh, I didn't notice, just stir it up. Annoyed, I couldn't think of any other reason to refuse. I had no choice but to take the bowl and pick up a spoonful of noodles. My hand lifted the bowl, then lowered it. With a clang, the bowl fell to the ground and shattered. I frantically picked up the pieces. Sorry, sister, I didn't mean to. Let me pick up the bowl right away. I picked up a piece of porcelain, gritted my teeth, and swiped it across my finger. Drops of blood immediately welled up. Large drops fell to the ground. Lily stared at the puddle of blood on the ground. Just as she was about to argue with me, her face suddenly turned pale. She weakly leaned on the nearby table, then her legs gave way and she collapsed to the ground. I carried Lily into my room, covered her with a blanket, used her hair to cover her face, and then stealthily went out. Sean was waiting near my house. Seeing me, he breathed a sigh of relief. Luna, thank goodness you're okay. I was so worried I almost rushed in. Thankfully, I acted quickly. 5 minutes later, my mother led a plump, acne-faced, balding man weighing over 100 kilograms to the house. She told the fat man to wait outside, then softly called Lily's name. No one answered. She was a little anxious until she saw the blanket bulging in my room, then she relaxed. Kevin, come in here, see? That's the one under the blanket. Don't worry, 100% she won't sue you when it's done. The fat man grinned maliciously, revealing his yellow teeth, and eagerly groped his way inside. My mother quickly ran out and locked the main door, afraid I might wake up and run out. It was a pity that the person she locked in was Lily. A moment later, I came back, my hand bandaged in a hurry. My mother, who had been leisurely sunbathing with her eyes closed, jumped up in surprise when she saw me. Luna, why are you outside? I gasped. Mother, have you seen Lily? She just fainted from seeing blood. I put her in my room to rest temporarily and went to the clinic to treat my wound. How is she? Has Lily woken up yet? Mother's lips trembled. Why didn't you call me? I couldn't find my phone. Lily's phone is password protected. I couldn't open it. Upon hearing this, her face turned pale. She looked towards the bedroom door. She had deliberately taken my phone to completely isolate me. At this moment, a tragic scream echoed from the room. My mother staggered over, her hands trembling uncontrollably as she tried to open the door. I added fuel to the fire, urging her on. She was so tense that she dropped the key several times. Finally, the door opened. Lily was desperately clinging to the door frame, trying to escape. The fat man, his whole body shaking with fat, grabbed her hair, pulled hard, and then slapped her face several times. You stinky girl, you think you can run? I'll beat you to death. Lily cowered in fear, trembling like a leaf. Mother was so angry her eyes almost burst. Stop it! How dare you touch my daughter? I'll fight you to the death. The fat man slapped her again, sending Mother tumbling to the ground. What the hell? Didn't you tell me to sleep with your daughter? What kind of act is this now? I'd seen enough of the show. I quickly rushed into the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and pointed it at the fat man, fearless. Don't you dare touch my mother and sister. If you dare touch them again, do you think I won't chop you up? Mother, we're not afraid. He dares to bully us like this. I'll send him to jail for good. The fat man also got angry. Who are you threatening? Your mother told me to come. I even have a recording here. No one is getting away. My mother was dazed from the slap. Hearing, call the police. She finally came to her senses. She stammered, don't call, it's all a misunderstanding. You quickly leave, pretend you were never here, I beg you, please leave quickly. The fat man regretfully looked at Lily. Lily screamed in fear. "Go away," I roared. He grumbled, putting his clothes back on. Before leaving, he threw 2 coins at my mother, grinning maliciously. "Here's your commission fee." My mother was so furious her chest heaved violently like a fish flapping on dry land. The next second she couldn't breathe. I rushed over and patted her back. "Mother, if you needed money, why didn't you tell me? Why let sister sell herself? She's already married. If Liam finds out, won't he demand a divorce? Mother, how foolish you are." Lily finally regained consciousness, clambered onto my mother, and began slapping her repeatedly. "You old hag, how dare you harm me?" Mother's eyes widened, endlessly apologizing. I'm sorry, Lily. Mother truly doesn't know why this happened. It's all Luna's fault. Yes, it's all her fault. If she hadn't gone out, you wouldn't have encountered this." I couldn't believe it. "Mother, what are you saying? You're the one who called him here, and you're the one who locked the door. While sister was being tormented, you were leisurely sunbathing outside the door. Yet you blame me." It was a waste for me to even think about risking my life against that man just now. My tears fell in large drops. I almost screamed in pain. "Mother, you've disappointed me too much. So from now on, I'll move out. I'll never be an eyesore to you again." I flew out of that place of trouble like an arrow. What happened to Lily was a case of her own actions coming back to haunt her. But once the 2 of them calmed down, they would surely still point their fingers at me. Moving out was the safest option. I turned to ask Sean, "How are things with Liam?" Lily was not wrong. Liam indeed had no interest in her at all. He didn't even want to pretend. He was now very close to Sean. Last time, I used the excuse of needing to discuss wedding photos in advance to introduce Sean to Liam. Initially, Liam was very cautious, his words subtly probing my relationship with Sean. Only after learning that we had only cooperated professionally and that Sean was free on the wedding day did he accept the job. He relaxed. He used the excuse that they shared similar interests and aspirations, often seeking out Sean for private chats, sending some videos of gay friends traveling to test the waters, and intentionally or unintentionally making a few harmless jokes. The 2 of us carefully planned our responses so that Liam would believe Sean was actually a closeted gay man. For over a month, he had been completely infatuated, even sending private photos of himself and photos of him fighting with Kevin. "It's nothing, it's very exciting. No matter how big it is, I can handle it," Sean sighed. "Luna, when will this finally end? He bothers me every day. I'm sick to death and my phone is no longer pure. I've sacrificed so much, I need a hug to feel better." Soon, I patted his head to comfort him. "Next week is their wedding. Everyone will be there. I will definitely give them an unforgettable memory." On the day Lily got married, I went home. In my room, all my belongings had disappeared, and it had become Lily's dressing room and changing room. The bruises on Lily's face were hidden by a thick layer of foundation. She wore a small mermaid wedding dress, exquisitely made up, and was having her hair adjusted for the last time by a hairstylist. When she saw me, the coldness and resentment in her eyes were almost impossible to conceal. My mother rolled her eyes, also not giving me a good look. This month, besides sending me a few messages, repeatedly warning me not to speak about Lily's affairs, otherwise she wouldn't acknowledge me as her daughter, she hadn't contacted me at all. I, of course, wouldn't talk about this outside. After all, if there was a real investigation, the fact that Sean and I were communicating via a burner phone and him keeping watch, my mother's location would also be revealed. Lily sat gracefully on the wedding bed. Sean suggested taking some individual photos of her and some with the bridesmaids. She waved her hand and began to pose. "No need to photograph them, just me alone will be fine." I smiled. Indeed, there was no need to take pictures with the bridesmaids, because those 2 bridesmaids were hired by her. Lily especially liked to nitpick and didn't have many friends. Moreover, she insisted that her bridesmaids couldn't be taller than her, couldn't be thinner than her, and couldn't wear makeup, which made it even harder to find anyone willing. Afterwards, she hired 4 bridesmaids online, met them, and made sure they weren't prettier than her before deciding. She secretly told the groomsmen, "There are 5 people blocking the door in the bridal chamber, 4 bridesmaids and an unmarried sister. Our family tradition is to play wedding games, and stripping them naked is fine. The more people lack something, the more they want to show they have it. The more exposed and miserable we are, the more it highlights her innocent and pure image." Unfortunately, I had shown them what Lily said and paid them double the price she paid the bridesmaids to cooperate with me. 10 minutes later, the wedding procession arrived at the door. Gongs clanged to the sky, firecrackers exploded. The groomsmen were full of vigor. We didn't try hard to block the door. Just a minute later, the door was broken open. The room, which was originally quite spacious, suddenly became packed with people. The groomsmen saw us girls, their eyes all lit up, and they rushed forward like hungry wolves. Lily covered her mouth, laughing, and excitedly held up her phone to live stream. We were pushed into the corner of the room. The groomsmen rubbed their hands, ready to tear off our clothes. Liam, behind the groomsmen, was pushed by relatives and also approached the wedding bed. Lily held up her phone to live stream our miserable scene with one hand, and with the other, she pretended to cover Liam's eyes. Her voice was coquettish. "Husband, I won't let you look at other girls. You can only look at my body. My body is only for you to see." I glanced at Sean, who was standing worriedly opposite the wedding bed, completely at ease. If there was any problem later, he would definitely rush up to save us immediately. A bold groomsman reached out and pulled my collar. I quickly dodged, signaling the bridesmaids, who quickly pulled out pepper spray and sprayed it indiscriminately at the groomsmen, who were like hungry tigers. They were unprepared, instinctively wanting to escape, desperately backing away. Liam was pushed, staggered, almost fell, and reflexively grabbed something nearby. Unfortunately, because Lily was leaning out, covering his eyes, Liam grabbed her wedding dress. Rip! The wedding dress was torn, slipping down. It was a bustier-style dress, slipping straight down to her waist. Lily lost her balance and her phone fell onto the bed, the final frame stopping on her. The live stream room was locked. Her 2 white bunnies were thus exposed to everyone. There were also a few undissolved, strawberry marks on them. Lily's tragic scream almost pierced the ceiling. She awkwardly pulled up her wedding dress, trying to pull it higher. My mother's eyes also widened in horror, trying desperately to push everyone out. But it was too late. The relatives who loved to watch a spectacle had already raised their phones. A dozen people were all live streaming. Liam was so angry his hair stood on end. "Lily, are you cuckolding me? What are these marks on your chest?" Even if he doesn't like women, many people have seen this, he can't endure this rage. Lily hurriedly defended herself. These are from you. Did you forget? I haven't even touched that part of you and you're saying I did it." He was uncontrollably angry and slapped Lily across the face. Lily's mouth hung open. She looked around frantically, searching for someone to blame. Finally, her gaze landed on me. It's Luna. She's jealous that I found a good husband and deliberately found someone to humiliate me. I'm also a victim. Lily could still falsely accuse me at this moment. I was astonished. "On what grounds do you say I did it? Do you have proof? I could also say you don't know how to conduct yourself. You're clearly already married, yet you're still fooling around with other people. You're even afraid Liam will dislike you and want to get vaginal tightening surgery." Lee's face turned pale and she blurted out, "How did you know?" As soon as the words left her mouth, all eyes turned to her. Liam's rage was about to consume him. He directly swung his fist at Lily, hitting her several times. Suddenly, a large hand pulled him back. The person who arrived was Kevin. My mother had been scared out of her wits, seeing Kevin as her savior. Without thinking twice, she pushed her way forward. "This is great, Kevin, you're here too? Lily is about to be beaten to death." Kevin completely ignored what Mother was saying. He just held up a chat log on his phone in front of Liam and roared, "I kept myself pure for you, even accepted you marrying a woman, and yet you dare to flirt with other guys behind my back. If I can't live well, you won't either." As these words were spoken, the scene went dead silent. Liam was stunned by Kevin's appearance, standing motionless. Lily, disbelieving, hugged her swollen face, looking at the two of them. Her voice was shrill. "What do you mean, you're gay? Liam, you're gay too." My mother also seemed to wake up from a dream. "Kevin, what are you saying? You and Liam?" Mother's voice was filled with such horror that it finally made Kevin glance at her, startled, and blurt out, "Mother, why are you here?" Everyone gasped. "This is our home. Today is your sister's wedding. What exactly is going on with you and Liam?" My mother was clearly in heavy shock, her speech incoherent. "Mother, this damned gay man. He's my brother, really? I don't believe it. He's my biological brother." That year, Mother accidentally swapped him and Luna in the delivery room. Gasps of astonishment echoed around. "What is this? My husband is my biological brother's boyfriend? Even a script wouldn't dare to write this. Too exciting. My live stream room is blowing up. So much drama, such complicated relationships. This family is truly unique." Incessant chatter rose, and the joyous occasion turned into a complete farce. My mother finally couldn't bear it, her eyes rolled back, and she fainted. Lily was clearly no better. She screamed, then clutched her stomach as dark red blood flowed from under her dress. She took one look and fainted too. Liam was startled by the scene, immediately turning his shame into fury and lunging to fight Kevin. Damn it, I've known you for so long, treated you so well, and you dare to ruin me after what you said. If I can't live well, you won't either. Brothers, help me beat this idiot to death. Seeing this, the groomsmen finally reacted. Several of them pinned Kevin to the ground and beat him severely. An ambulance arrived and took all three of them to the hospital. My mother woke up the earliest. After waking, she immediately went to Kevin's room to visit him. He had multiple broken bones and was completely unable to move, but the most serious case was Lily. Due to the immense shock, she had a miscarriage. She had had multiple abortions before, making her uterine lining too thin to carry another pregnancy. The continuous shocks had already made her mentally unstable. This news was like a thunderbolt from the blue, a fresh layer of snow on frostbitten bones. Her mind became unbalanced. My mother took care of her for a few days, then lost all patience and sent her to a mental hospital. All her efforts were now focused on Kevin. Kevin, it's all Mother's fault. I didn't take good care of you before, that's why you like men. Now, Mother considers you her only child. No matter where you go, Mother will definitely cure your illness. When you recover, Mother will help you marry a wife and continue the Liang family lineage. I knocked on the door, interrupting Mother's rambling. The kindness in her eyes vanished, replaced by resentment almost palpable. What are you doing here? I smiled and replied, I just heard Mother say you want Kevin to continue the Liang family lineage. He can't help the Liang family continue the lineage. What do you mean? Are you saying he won't recover? No, I mean he's not your son. My mother recoiled 2 steps, quickly glanced at Kevin, and firmly shook her head. Luna, don't try to sow discord between Mother and me. You fundamentally don't know what happened before. I smiled, placing 2 DNA test reports in her hand. Although I don't know what happened originally, I know the result. My mother frowned, distastefully opening the report. It took her half a minute. Then she mumbled with trembling lips, Impossible, impossible. This must be fake. On the wedding day, I had taken advantage of the chaos to pluck a few strands of Kevin's hair and had them tested. If Mother doesn't believe it, he's lying right there. I nodded towards Kevin, gesturing to my mother. Finally, my mother personally took hair samples from the 3 of us for an urgent test. The next day, the results were in. After just one night, I saw her looking as if she had aged 10 years. She originally had only a few gray hairs, but now her entire head was white. The test results were the same as before. Mother and I were blood relatives. Kevin was not. My mother collapsed to the ground as if her bones had been drained, continuously muttering, How could this be? How could this be? Why not? Mother, you were in the same delivery room as the county magistrate's daughter-in-law when you gave birth. Because you wanted your child to have a better life, you had a wicked thought and told your mother to secretly swap the babies. Later, the county magistrate was dismissed, and his family fell into decline. Our family, however, prospered because Father worked hard. You then piled all your guilt towards your son onto me. But Mother, although it was normal to accidentally swap babies at the time, did you ever consider that Kevin and I are of different genders? Perhaps after you swapped us, the nurse brought us back. Did you really not notice that you and I look 5 parts alike? I resemble you even more than Lily. Since knowing the truth, my mother's mental state declined day by day. She lay on her hospital bed, almost at the end of her life, but she was unwilling to accept it and still wanted me to forgive her. Luna, I know I've wronged you, but besides a little favoritism, I haven't caused you any substantial harm. Can you truly not forgive me? She didn't know that she hadn't caused me harm, not because she didn't want to, but because I had avoided it. In my previous life, I couldn't avoid it, and the result was a tragic death. I still looked at her calmly. No, I can't. My mother's eyes widened, and finally, for me, she shed a single tear. That night, she quietly passed away. I gave her a proper burial, considering it repayment for her upbringing. After doing all this, I went to the mental hospital to visit Lily. I had developed the photos Sean took of her before the wedding. The girl in the photos with a radiant smile and the raving madwoman before me were completely different people. I showed her the photos. She looked at them repeatedly, then curiously at me. Suddenly, as if realizing something, she spoke quickly and stammered. I remember you. You're Luna. Didn't I strangle you to death? How are you here? You're just jealous that I found a good husband. A malicious woman like you deserves to go to hell. Her memories from her previous life had finally returned. I turned to look at the doctor beside me. It seems my sister's illness is still very severe. Thank you for your hard work. Amidst Lily's heart-wrenching screams, I quickly walked out of the mental hospital. The moment I stepped out the door, warm sunlight shone upon me, and the bitterness suppressed in my heart for 2 lifetimes finally dissipated.